With what I'm seeing as of right now when it comes to Zilliqa, I haven't seen this in a long time. What do I mean by this, even though nothing I say is financial advice? Well, first of all, when it comes to ZIL, which is Zilliqa's native token, the market cap currently is around 100 million, which may seem a little bit kind of like not such a good thing, right? Because, like, whoa, like the market cap is that low. But at the same time, there is a different perspective that I do take a look at this, though, because even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, the last time I saw ZIL at around $100 million market cap was literally back in 2020. So we're talking about 5 years ago at this point, actually over 5 years ago. And the thing is, we're almost in 2026, right? Because you know what? I saw a market cap of around 100 million back in May of 2020. And then ever since then, really, even with like the pullback that we saw after what ZIL did in 2021, sure, we kind of saw it dip to around that $480 million market cap range. Then it kind of had a rally again. Then it kind of dipped again to around 300 million, that market cap range around. And then we saw around 200 million as well. But really, ever since those years, right, we're talking about seeing those market cap fluctuations throughout 2023, 2024, even 2025. As of right now, I'm seeing a market cap that, again, I have not seen in basically over 5 years, which may seem a little bit counterintuitive, but since I am looking to, dollar cost average, it's nothing I wouldn't necessarily be too kind of, I guess, agitated by, I would say, right? This doesn't really agitate me in a way where if my intention isn't to dollar cost average, then it's a bit of a different case. Like, for instance, if my intention is to leave Zilliqa, basically, then having not seen a market cap this low basically in over 5 years, I don't know if I would have such a good, I guess, feeling about that. But since I am looking to dollar cost average, I guess this is not something I am necessarily disappointed with. But at the same time, even with this market cap right here, like, there's still slightly over 80,000 holders, which is kind of, I think, pretty impressive considering even though 25 cents is quite a ways away. I mean, we're around 18 times lower than that currently, but at the same time, when I just take a look at, let's say, right, ZIL back in December of 2024, that market cap right there was around 650 million. We're currently over 6 times lower than that. The thing is, that was just back in December 2024. Is Bitcoin over 6 times lower than 300 grand? Absolutely not. Is Ethereum over 6 times lower than 10 grand? Absolutely not. But that's just my point of view. Again, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but the thing is, Zilliqa's under some stiff competition. I'm totally aware of that. But does it really need to be hypothetically kind of the best thing of all time? Absolutely not. Like, for instance, if let's say you just went to a market cap back in December 2024, around a $600 million market cap range, we're not talking about groundbreaking figures. That's not something that's never been reached before. We just saw Zilliqa literally reach that back in 2024 in December, so around a year ago. And still, we're over 6 times lower than that? That's just my point of view. Like, if let's say Bitcoin went to 300 grand, that right there is a level it's never ever reached before in its history. Who knows what it could do during the cycle, but I'm just saying it's never reached that before in history, right? We just saw ZIL historically reach around a market cap of that 650 million range, even though, we're currently over 6 times lower than that. So yeah, that's just the way to take a look at it. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Zilliqa, fundamentally, right, my point of view is that it's not necessarily doing anything that people really find that interesting, I think, currently, but I don't mind, though, because I don't think Zilliqa needs to necessarily become like a top 10 project or something like that. Like, for instance, does every single project out there need to be like top 10? No. And also, at the same time, if let's say there's a NFL quarterback, do they need to be as good as Tom Brady? I don't think so, actually. I mean, it'd be cool, it'd be awesome, but is that really achievable? There's only one Tom Brady. It's like, for instance, let's say I become a comedian, right? Do I need to be as well known as Kevin Hart? I mean, it'd be awesome, but Is that really something I'd be able to achieve if I was a comedian? I'm just saying. Kevin Hart was in Jumanji. You know what I mean? That movie is so famous. Like, how can I even eclipse that? You know what I'm saying? So then the thing is, when it comes to something like, Zilliqa, my point of view is that it doesn't really need to hypothetically become like top 10 or something like that because even at a hypothetical price of 25 cents, the market cap at that point, considering current circulating supply, it's around 5 billion. That is not something that's never been reached before ever in history, you know? But my point of view is this. Zilliqa being the world's first supposed, or should I say alleged, sharding-based blockchain, again, the first supposedly within that specific niche, do I find it pretty interesting? I mean, yeah, but the thing is, there's actually other projects out there that have a sharding aspect that are actually more popular than Zilliqa as of right now, like for instance, the Near protocol. But I'm just saying, when it comes to sharding though, what do I mean by that, right? Within this context, through sharding, the network is split into multiple sections known as shards, and then workload on the network, they are distributed amongst these different shards. And as a result, supposedly it does make the project very scalable and all this. So then the thing is, Zilliqa, I find it pretty interesting. Not the most interesting, of course, but I'm saying it's pretty okay, I guess, in my perspective. However, the thing is, what is kind of the narrative right now when it comes to Zilliqa? Arguably, I would say the biggest thing it's kind of achieved so far as of late is Zilliqa 2.0. Which some people may be thinking, well, who cares about these 2.0s? Because we saw what Polkadot did with Polkadot 2.0, right? We saw kind of the talks about Internet Computer 2.0. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of 2.0s kind of appearing here and there when it comes to projects. But what has it done to Polkadot? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it hasn't really done much. Actually, back in October, it reached a new all-time low when it comes to its native token called DOT. The thing is, some people may be thinking, oh, Zilliqa launching a 2.0 was kind of not a good thing. They think it was a little bit of a mistake. Well, is Polkadot 2.0 a mistake? Well, I don't think so actually for the longevity. Now, in terms of the short term, maybe it's not necessarily kind of the best timing, some people may think because of the price, but sometimes a project is going to develop whether or not the price is hypothetically doing good or not, right? Sometimes projects out there just don't really care. They just launch something, they just do it because they want to improve. When it comes to Zilliqa 2.0, I mean, I think probably the coolest aspect that I find of it is the aspect of EVM when it comes to Zilliqa 2.0, or should I say Ethereum Virtual Machine, because Ethereum, it is a very popular layer one blockchain. Some other projects out there just straight up don't really care about that aspect and they just like kind of refuse to care about it, which I actually think in some cases might hypothetically be a little bit of a mistake because Ethereum, it's literally kind of like a very well-known layer one blockchain, right? So why refuse to kind of have an aspect of something that is literally so famous? Yeah, I just don't know why some projects out there don't really care about it, but even besides that point, when it comes to this 2.0 and all this, I just don't think that is necessarily such a bad thing. I actually think fundamentally it is a pretty cool thing. And sometimes during an altcoin season, people take a look back at stuff like this. Not to say that this or that or whatever is going to hypothetically happen during this cycle because I don't know. I cannot control this market. I do not know when there's going to be exactly an altcoin season because let's say I pulled up a price chart and I start drawing, a triangle or something like that on the price chart. The altcoin season is not going to happen whether or not I do that. Like, it doesn't matter what I do on that price chart. Literally, the space is not going to care. So then the reason why I just dollar cost average once a month, nothing more, nothing less, that's it, just once a month, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, the reason why I do that is because I will never be able to know what's going to happen, right? So if I don't know what's going to happen, why would I try to find out what's going to happen? I'm just going to like literally waste a lot of energy doing that for no reason, in my perspective. So this is why I just like to stay patient, hold, wait, and literally that's it. But at the same time, just haven't seen, wait, let me correct myself there. Not having seen, right, levels this low in terms of market cap in over 5 years, my kind of perspective is that, I'm just not going to complain about that because I am looking to dollar cost average. But even besides that point, I am still staying patient. I'm holding, I'm just waiting. And sure, I mean, it was cool seeing ZIL not too long ago at a market cap around 600 million, but the journey from 100 million to that, do I hypothetically just want to wait for that journey to happen? I personally don't have that mindset, so yeah, I'm just still dollar cost averaging, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. However, I just wanted to make a update video real quick when it comes to Zilliqa and talk about how I feel about it. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you all have a nice day. It's Wally the Captain, and I'll catch you all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.